Jai Hind dear students. Today we will going to discuss about a new chapter, that is chapter 2 of civics, class 8, understanding secularism. As we have discussed in our previous classes that there were some of the important features of the Indian constitution, and one of the main feature was the secularism. So let's begin our discussion on this important feature. So we will going to discuss about the secularism. What do we mean by secularism? Why it is important? And we will going to compare the two types of secularism. First is the Western secularism and another is the Eastern secularism. It also included the first US amendment. Thereafter we will going to analyze one of the case study based on the France. Now class, what is secularism? In simple words, we can conclude that secularism refers to the separation of religion from the state. As you know that the Indian constitution allow individuals the freedom to live by their religious beliefs and practices and as they interpret. Therefore, in keeping with this idea of religious freedom for all, India has adopted a strategy of separating the power of religion and the power of the state. So, a system where religion is separated from the government and state affair ensures equal treatment of all religion. The state does not promote any religion nor interfere in religious practices, ensures equality and freedom for all religion. So when there is a separation between the religion and the state, means the state will not going to interfere into the religious policies, and the same is the case with the religion. Now, why is secularism important? First aspect is it promotes equality among citizens. Second, it prevents discrimination based on religion. Now, no religious discrimination will be there as we are following the secularism policy. So, we will not going to provide the special treatment to anyone. We will not going to give the policies or incentives on the basis of religion, because we are following all the religion as the same religion. But there is a crux and we will going to discuss in the upcoming slides. Third is it protects minority rights. For example, class, there are two groups. One is majority and second one is minority. And minority people, they wanted to perform or they wanted to profess a particular religion. Let it say B. So now, because we follow the secularism, the A group, that is in majority, cannot dominate over the minority group, and these minority group has the right to follow their particular religion. Let it make it more clear. For example, let's say I am a person B and I wanted to follow a particular religion, and my religion is very much different from the all over the world. For example, in my religion, I am going to profess my religion in a very unique way, in a very unique way by doing the unique activities, है ना? So this means class that I have the right to profess, propagate and practice my particular religion in my own way. So this protects the right of minority group, and in the last, it ensures peaceful coexistence in diverse society. As you know, the quotation of the Jawaharlal Nehru, unity in diversity. So that is the case. We all are people living in the India with the different religions. So this promotes the peaceful coexistence. Now, why Indian secularism is different? Very important aspect. Now class, as you know, according to our constitution, we have some of the objectives of our Indian secularism. The main objectives are, first one is that one religion community does not dominate another. Second one is the some members do not dominate other members of the same religious community. Third, The state does not enforce any particular religion nor take away religious freedom of individuals. So there should be no inter-religious discrimination, there should be no intra-religious discrimination, and the state should not interfere in the policies of the religious practices. Now, why it is different? First is we follow the principal distance. Principal distance means at any point of time, if state feel that it is important to interfere in a particular religion in order to protect the rights of the people, then the state, they can interfere in the religion. So there is no strict separation of state from the religion. For example, as you know, article 17 of the Indian Constitution, the state interfered in the religion of for example, the caste based discrimination was there, so we interfere in order to protect the rights of the people by banning the untouchability under article 17. Second point is there is no official religion. Unlike Sri Lanka or other countries, India has no state religion. We does not we don't have any sort of official religion. Third point is freedom to practice and propagate. As we have discussed earlier, that under Article 25 to 28, the state or the constitution guarantees the religious freedom to us. Last point, policy of non-interference. So Indian state is not interfering in your religious policies until and unless there is a question of the rights. Now, now class, this makes the policy of non-interference and the interference. This makes our Indian Constitution unique. I would like to put a light on a first amendment of the US Constitution. According to the US Constitution, it prohibits the legislature from making laws respecting an establishment of religion or that prohibits the free exercise of religion. Now this statement is saying that first, you will not going to uphold any particular religion as the official religion, and the second point is enlisting that the rights of the people cannot be snatched, cannot be taken away, okay? Especially the religious rights. So this is the US First Amendment. Now let's compare the US secularism with the Indian secularism. State religion, there is a strict separation, but here there is a separation but some sort of intervention. Freedom to practice absolute unless harmful, example human sacrifice, so there is a absolute separation, therefore you can you have the freedom to practice your own religion in your own way unless and until there is a harmful sort of scenario. Now here are some restrictions like the public order should be maintained, health, morality, these all concepts should be considered. State neutrality, US is not funding any sort of religion, while in India we can see that there is a intervention. We fund religious schools. Why? In order to protect their rights. Generally we fund minorities religious schools. We are funding those schools also which don't have sufficient amount of money because as per the article 25 to 28 we have to protect their religious rights also. Now case study. Before going to the case study, what is a West secularism and what is a East secularism? Eastern secularism refers to the Indian concept. That means there is a separation of power with the interference. So there is a separation but with sort of interference policy. While the Western secularism follow a strict separation of religion from the state. For example, class, there was a law that came in 2004 in France, and this law banned students from bearing any conspicuous religious or political sign or symbols related to the religion in the France state. So here what they are doing, they are following the strict separation of power. So French secularism ban religious symbols, hijab, crosses in government schools. Difference from India, Indian secularism allow religious symbol in public places. So Indian secularism, in public places you can follow your religion. So why does France ban religious symbol in school? Because France follow the policy of strict separation or the Western secularism. So thank you class. This is a short discussion on the chapter understanding secularism. I hope you understand it well. Thank you.